So you have men out here that are breaking their legs to gain a couple of inches, to hit that male beauty standard. To be a real man, you have to be a certain height in Western society. And so it's really about a sense of belonging, as you're going to hear in this news story. The question is, would you do this? As a short guy myself, the answer is no. And I'll tell you why in a little bit later.
New at 5, a lot of conversation around this one. We are highlighting a cosmetic procedure growing in popularity that you likely haven't heard about.
That's right. It's called leg lengthening, and it's given people a few extra inches and some extra confidence, too. WPTV's Kayla McDermott connected with a Texas man. He's one of many people traveling across the country to a Palm Beach County doctor, and the procedure is not cheap.
Currently, I'm 5'6", but if I ever wanted to be taller, specifically by 3 inches, I could do so by having both legs broken in order to stretch them.
This is typical here. You're going through all of this for what? For a couple of inches.
Exactly what brought Aaron Trin here all the way from Texas.
I figured height surgery was pretty much perfect.
Walking into St. Mary's Medical Center at 5'6" back in May, Trin knew being taller wouldn't just give him a physical boost, but also an internal boost.
I just wanted to just feel like I have a sense of belonging, like whenever I'm talking to people and they're not always looking down on me.
So you're going to go to 5'9". Let's say if he went to 6 feet, now you're going to be in the 6 feet club and there's a sense of belonging. Gentlemen, for those of you guys that are 6 feet, for example, and above, do you feel because of your height you have a sense of belonging? It's easier for men that hit that height requirement for a lot of women to date, sure. But men who are tall, do you feel a sense of belonging? You have to almost work at getting friends, work at maintaining friendships, work at having connections of value. And you know what I'm talking about. When people just look at you, and a good example is if you're a guy with a lot of money. Now I can have friends. You're not going to have friends if that's the type of people you let in your life because you attain something like money, right? Or if you attain something, in this case, something that's like off of a Black Mirror episode, where you've attained height. And what does that actually do, right? It's going to give you a sense of purpose and fulfillment off of what? Off of something that is a male beauty standard that's not going to bring you the type of friendships that you're actually looking for. That sense of belonging is not real, is my point. It isn't real. Because it doesn't make any sense for people to, I see what he's saying, and it's a fantasy. And I know there's guys that are watching this that are 5'9" and above. 5'9" is an average height. And I know you guys are thinking, well, damn, I should have friends? I should have more of a belonging because of my height? And the answer is no, because you have to actually work at it to get those connections that actually bring you fulfillment, that aren't shallow connections, right? I mean, this is just sad where he just thinks that, hey, my life is going to open up. I don't have to do anything to work on myself. I don't have to do anything when it comes to going out of the way and making friends and maintaining friendships. Gross. I just have to go through all of this and spend all this money, because this is close to $100,000, by the way, out of pocket.
Then
Wow.
a machine helps lengthen his legs 1 millimeter a day for 80 days.
I'm not even lengthening 1 millimeter a day. I had to slow down.
A long process he says he's happy to go through in order to walk out of here at 5'9".
I still wouldn't change a thing.
A statement Dr. George Paley, the man who brought the surgery to the States,
Patients come from all over the world.
says his patients agree with.
It really changes how they see themselves, which affects their entire psyche.
The surgery is considered cosmetic, meaning patients pay out of pocket on average $90,000 to $100,000. Dr. Paley says the cosmetic surgery is surging in popularity. However, for some patients, it's more of a necessity.
A lot of them need to be amputated, and we save them from that.
He says at St. Mary's, patients receive post-op care plus rehab. So when patients like Trin leave, they'll be good to go, just with a new perspective.
This is pretty much life-changing.
In West Palm Beach, I'm Kayla McDermott.
Life-changing, right? And that's just the saddest thing, is that he thinks it's life-changing, and okay, you gain a couple of inches, congratulations, and then what is that going to do? Is that going to bring you the friends you're looking for? Is that going to bring you the type of partner that you're looking for? The answer is no. Now, for those that are sitting there and saying, well, at least he's going to have a chance of what? Right? To bring people into your life that are going to be extremely shallow, people that are not going to be, when it comes to bringing fulfillment, what type of fulfillment? When it's like, okay, well, now I can be with people that now they respect me because of your height, These are the type of people you want to be around. And for those men that are so jaded and say, well, that's just the world, how it works. No, it's not. And as a short guy myself, I can tell you that it doesn't work that way where things are so dark. Where, okay, well, once I am a certain height, then I'm going to get people in my life that are going to be the people I want. No, you're not. That's my point. And I know short men are tired of hearing, okay, well, just be a high value man or just lift weights and grow wide and not tall. I'm a short guy myself. And a lot of it is gaslighting you into thinking like being short is not a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a male beauty standard of being tall, right? So I'm not going to gaslight you into saying, well, being short doesn't really matter, because it does matter, unfortunately. If it didn't matter, then men wouldn't be doing this to themselves. And I know it's going to sound dramatic, but when you go through surgery like this is serious surgery, the chances of death are always there. Are they high? No, they're not high, but they're there, okay? And so you're risking your life for social acceptance, mostly from strangers, and it's not worth it. And you might be saying, okay, what's the solution? I gotta say, it's really gonna be if this guy had a sense of belonging. And how do you get that? That's the hardest thing, is going out and making friends. And I think what's even harder is maintaining friendships, being consistent and showing up for people, because adulting gets in the way. Work doesn't care about you having friends. Society doesn't care about you having friends. It's more about you just working your ass off and dying. Work, pay your taxes, go die, right? Society, once you become an adult, it doesn't care. When you're a child, society does place emphasis on children having friends. So it's easier because you're in practice all the time, but you lose that practice as an adult because it wants you to pay bills, pay taxes, and go die. Right? I don't have any friends, I'm happy, I don't have a sense of belonging. Society doesn't care. We know that, especially as adults, as grown men. So you have men who want a sense of community, and then they think the wrong way. Well, if I hit a male beauty standard, that is, and it is about being acceptable to women, acceptable to people, by being in the height that people feel that is acceptable to be a real man. Okay, then I'm going to be accepted and let in. But then when you talk to men that are tall, it's like, I'm lonely, right? And I know, again, if you're a tall guy, or even a guy that he was talking about 5'9", even if you're an average height guy, hey, drop a comment, let me know about your struggles. Because it's this situation that you can see, the grass is greener, but then you have guys that are there, sitting on the grass saying, damn, I'm lonely as hell. Right? It seems like society doesn't want me to have any friends, right? Pay them bills, pay them taxes, and go die somewhere, right? Never be a drain on society, because then it doesn't like you then. It seems to punish us for that, like getting sick, for example. But the saddest thing is when you have men that, again, they look at the grass is greener, and then you can tell they don't talk to people because they're lonely, because it's like, it's about trying to reach out, make connections, and then you can get people of all heights. And they can start to talk about what they go through. And you might think, okay, well, that catches me off guard. And there are people, of course, that are shorter than 5'6". You have men out there that are shorter than 5'6". And what do they go through? And these men that will never go through this type of surgery, because they'll tell you it's not worth the risk. And I have found belonging my way, right? For me, as a short guy, you know, I'm well under 5'9". For me, it is about going out and finding hobbies, things that I like to do, and finding groups. And really, it's just about making friends. As corny as that sounds, it's so important to find belonging, to make friendships, because then you understand, because friends, you know, they not only help to bring value in your life, but they help to also give you confidence. And they give you that sense of belonging, like he was yearning for, and they bring fulfillment. And it's a wonderful thing. But for a lot of us guys, it's just hard to go out and make those types of friendships, especially that friendships that last, because you are out of practice, right? So then you do drastic things like this, or you would never go through this because you don't have the money, but then you'll support it. When I made a video about this, about Denzel Ziggers that went from 5'5" to 6 feet, I had a bunch of short guys that were saying, yeah, I root for this guy. And in a way, they were saying it because they were trying to live through this, because they can't afford $100,000. I can't do that either. But you're saying, well, you support it, right? And if I had the money, I would do it. And then what do you think's going to happen? You don't have to do the work to then fit in, because that's what I'm saying is once you do reach that height, you got to still do the work to fit in, to have connections, to maintain connections. You can't just be a certain height and okay, well now I hit the male beauty standard. Now I'm a real man, by society's definition, by not being short. Okay, and now what are you going to do with that height? Got to go out and make friends, got to go out and maintain friendships. That sense of belonging is not just going to come to you. And for those that want to argue and say, well, people are going to be acceptable, more accepting of him now. And honestly, I just feel sorry for a lot of people who think that, because it goes deeper than just dating. And it goes deeper than just, because he even said that it wasn't about dating, it was about just people in general, right? We're so focused on, okay, well, maybe he's focused on dating, but no, my man is not. And at least he's smart enough to understand it's more to it than just romantic relationships. It's just about making connections in general with people and having that sense of belonging, right? And he's focused on that, the big picture. And he is going to be very disappointed, is my point. So let me know, drop a comment and let me know what you think. Also, don't forget to like the video and hit the subscribe button. This is a men's wellness channel, and we're all about doing videos like this, especially when it comes to the male perspective and what men go through, and offering solutions as well to help promote men's wellness. Have a good one.